Hello everyone, and yeah, at least we have one band now. Hello and welcome to this match of Rivals Pro between Mehdi and ChrisX3, and we have had a premature start to the map ban phase. So I wanted to immediately join the action. We have a one band now from Mehdi, and Haven Island will not be in the map pool. Of course, still just like the fourth or fifth match, we will talk about the specifics, what is significant about this tournament. Of course, you can see the 7 map pool there. We'll talk about it more as well. But before the next ban, I will definitely introduce you. GKPunk here, welcome.
Hello, welcome back to you as well. Back to the world of Hitman.
Thank you. With a very interesting tournament for sure. In a professional
there's
setting.
definitely lots of work for the admins.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure if it reaches like the shoutcast, but you can notice the couple minute delays between certain parts of the map. That is because of the tournament system, of course, with the additional pre-map action of banning the items, but it's also very early on in the tournament, and we all have to learn as we go, but so far.
It's all text-based. Maybe someday Curry will make one page, This is my wet dream. It would be to have the map ban and an item ban, and the players can just do it one after another. But that's what it is. It's just a concept. So Chris decided to ban Sapienza, which is, I think, talking with him, he said it's kind of an autopilot map for him, for most people, really, because the whole Francesca thing.
Of course, this all comes back down to, as you can see, the first pick of Hokkaido. This all comes back down to your poll from, I think, the beginning of the year or late last year. I don't exactly know anymore. Asking the community about the 7 most competitive maps, and Chris has indeed said to me that there's not much competitiveness in Sapienza if it's ending up being so straightforward, so understand his choice against the map.
I agree with him. This is what the poll said. If I chose it, Sapienza would probably not be in there. But happy to see after 7 years, we'll see Chris play Berlin in a match. So that's good. He's picked his map, and Mehdi left it wide open and decides to ban Isle of Scale. So Chris decides the decider between Miami and Whittleton Creek. Whittleton Creek is not an autopilot map, but it's an autopilot map for Chris.
And the shorter one as well.
He's gonna ban, actually. That's interesting.
Against it.
He chooses the season 2 Sapienza for Miami.
Actually, the similarities are really uncanny with all the disguises, and I usually set order between the targets. We will see if we get there. Of course, that will have to mean that Hokkaido and Berlin ends up 1 point each, be it 2 ties, but more likely 1 win each. We will start with Hokkaido then, after we have the item picks, rather the item bans, the selection of which items will not be allowed to play during this Hokkaido spin. And yeah, that's yet another Hokkaido. And
yeah, it's the shortest map in one of the shortest play phase of the tournament. I think Chris said it's the shortest map period, which could be true, I think.
So I think that sounds about right. Just, of course, not a lot
of... It's definitely close.
Maps to think of. This is the 5th match of the tournament and the 4th Hokkaido, and it will also be guaranteed to play. Only Rocky versus me last night didn't feature it, which of course means it was banned at some point. But otherwise, we will see Berlin for the 2nd time, and Miami would be the decider yet again. That is the 3rd time Miami has been chosen as decider, but the previous 2 times, Joker J and Phenium went for a sweep, and we didn't get to see it. And now we have the next spin ready, so we are positioning there. And I almost finished setting up with everything, but the refreshes were lacking. But there we have Ebramadi, also known as Mehdi, in his first ever competitive match in Providence, facing off against ChrisX3, who at this point may have won multiple tournaments here in Providence, definitely roulette freestyle, and we already played so many. I don't really have a good list of who has won what, but definitely a well-versed player here. Of course, he will be around in just a couple of minutes, 2.5 minutes until the start, just less than 3 rather. And 47 minutes past there, because of course, Hokkaido spin will be revealed without key hackers, which... so the first map ban is by the player who doesn't pick the map. So all key hackers would be ChrisX3's choice of ban. I think so. And then the gold big proximity mine
That's
by
right.
Mehdi.
Yeah. So I think most of the work goes into, at least from my perspective, is to get the order right for the bans. But it doesn't matter for the first 2 rounds. You know, if you gotta give the player who deserves the ban first, according to the rule, and throw out anything if somebody else says ban first. Now, I don't know if this is what they decided in terms of the map picks in the beginning, because they said they scheduled it and picked their maps and stuff immediately, so I don't know if things have changed since then.
That will be very interesting to know, and we'll definitely ask Chris about that later on, who is still offline at the time being. Of course, with him there is always a chance of a last minute crash in the menus where game performs not as well. And yes, you are seeing it correctly, and ChrisX also mentions it, that it's kind of an against all odds situation for Mehdi, but he has found a way to stream his gameplay, and the admins have deemed it sufficient enough for gameplay. We will know what is going to happen, and we will have a good enough knowledge of all the XPs, the pop-ups, and of course the prompts to know if he's playing illegally or not. So looking forward to it. Less than a minute now.
Yeah, that's really, it's always great to see them play in something like that. It's unfortunate, but yeah, happy to see that it's gonna work out, hopefully.
And after the scheduling troubles from Chris's opponents, there was the scare that Chris may not play against someone for a whole another reason, but there we have it. And once he's online, and he's definitely around, knowing his Discord status, we will see the first spin. Of course, Punk, you already know it, but please feel free to run it down, and hopefully we get the game going now.
Yeah, it's Eric Soder's with an SMG as a handyman, and Yuki with a pistol as a bodyguard. So pretty easy spin if you just look at it. Key hackers are banned, which could provide problems, but if you know how to navigate, you know, you should know how to do it, because you start with nothing on this map. So key hackers, you're like, who cares? I unlocked it after level 20 anyways.
Yeah, tiny bit of obstacle it will be getting to Soders without the key hackers, but just the previous, literally the previous map was also Hokkaido without key hackers, and
Yeah.
it had a very straightforward approach getting to the wallbang spot, as yoga instructor will be the same situation. Still firearm as well, won't be any problems.
Chris is still showing offline, and hopefully he's... I messaged him, so...
I remember a situation, it might have been early in the tournament, but hopefully a show match as well, because OBS has shown that he was online, but for us he was offline, and it took just a very innocent DM later on that he should turn the stream on, and he said that he was on for a long time, but OBS has failed him to notify. Hopefully Chris won't have a kill down in the meantime. That's the...
Oh yeah, then put a mullet pride and just like spend 17 minutes complete Marrakesh and you won't see any.
It also had to be the longest Marrakesh ever, after which indeed...
Yeah. That's... I think we've seen almost all of it. We say that, but then we see new things every day.
That's true.
Because trust me, there's lines and lines of rules that try to account for all these situations we come across, but then there's something new, and then admins start scrambling like, wait, we don't have anything about this.
Yeah, things that you cannot even write and then still happen. We really try our best to make it a fair environment, like we as as anyone who tries to admin or organize something. But of course, hopefully for Chris, it's not a major issue, but definitely not a major lead for Mehdi in either way, because he's on another restart and getting back to the gondola, dropping that item for Yuki, and then once she gets going again, that might have been a bit too early. We'll see. I think she might still go for it. Yes, she does. And once the head turns are taken care of, because that was the reason for previous rip, Yuki will be down as well. Changes kinds and maybe keep her alive for the pistol kill. That was almost a red gun moment and perhaps a tiny bit of target lockdown, but still well contained. And that's the first kill down for Mehdi.
Whoop. Compromise, that's a delayed reaction there from the two, say hotel, but what are they? Hospital staff, resort staff. There's a resort there too.
I guess basically running into the range of noticing the gunshot, but in a delayed manner. So it's
definitely. And it's not consistent where you just like, oh, I'll just wait every time. Well, some of the times you would actually be wasting time because you wouldn't be losing your silent assassin.
Yeah, very close. And Mehdi getting some nice progress in, and of course knows the game mechanics. This is not the most vanilla way to isolate Yuki. That would probably be the snail or the red tie kiwi. So definitely got off to a nice start and knows how to bullet distract as well. Still not working out for the second half of the spin, but this might be the run.
Oh, Chris has pressed done. It's great. Did you see any of it?
No, I did not see any of it. He just sent me
a bunch of question marks.
Oh no. And the worst part is that this means, the question marks mean that he did not notice, obviously.
Why aren't you accepting my done? That was, yeah.
Oh no. Well, he's here on my end, and ChrisX3's second try will fight Mehdi's first try, then I would assume. So unlucky. And of course it's not the fact that we do not trust him, but the proof is always needed, no matter who plays.
Yeah, it's the competitive integrity isn't really. I would trust Chris with the what's it called? Hosting a tournament, but maybe not completing a spin offline. Just put it that way.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. It has to be a restart, another turnaround. Of course, this will set him back mentally, which is just so sad to see. But the thing that he doesn't know is that now 6 minutes into the spin, they are not just tied, but with a replan now, ChrisX3 has the lead, because by the time Mehdi loads in with his console, it will be 10 plus at least 8 more seconds for a lead of Chris.
Yeah, Chris just has to repeat whatever he did. Watch it. It's one of those where he just struggles for minutes when he did it first try.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not one of those, but...
And we did see...
good card cycles.
Yeah, this is going to be good. We did see, or you did see, and you told us that he pressed the down very early, and I think this was less than 4 minutes into the spin, so it was very likely a first try. And now with the loud pistol, he has already 1 kill down and 1 more dart for the hospital director. We'll give him nice access to the back half of the area. Getting rid of the briefcase just in case. Can always end up in weird situations. Mehdi with the Yuki kill as well. silence pistol still for him, and the guards do not turn away, so only thing he has to watch out for now is the director, but he changed back into the suit, so no more enforcement there. Of course, the price he pays now is that he won't be allowed through any of the RFID doors besides his own suit.
Yeah, that restricts him. So with the key hacker ban, that can lock him out, especially if you're approaching it from the outside. Looks like he's gonna go for outside a handyman.
I like it, and it is indeed unspotted. Will it be an infinite loop? It's not.
Yeah, luckily it wasn't an infinite loop. It's a hilarious bug, but when it happens to you in a match, it's not funny at all.
No, we're laughing and then they are crying. It's that kind of unfortunate situation.
Yeah, laugh at my pain.
Indeed. Maybe you have to go the long way around through the sushi area. He's not quite sure at the moment, backtracking a little. There is one doorless area. But no, he decides to go through the kitchen, but it will be too little too late. And Chris with just over 2.5 minutes. And of course, 2 quicker kills, but still a very impressive in-game time for Chris in Hokkaido. Finishes the spin twice, no doubt, but gets the 1 point for it very deservedly.
Yeah, 4 minutes real time later, he finishes once again. That should be the end of round 1. Yeah, spin didn't go away for a second there.
Nicely updated now, and Mehdi losing his own map pick, back against the wall now, trying to take a point away from Chris in his backyard of the Berlin club. We're very excited to see, but of course the item bans first, and we will relay to you guys as soon as we have them. This is Chris's pick, so Mehdi's ban first, and then Chris can ban again. We talked yesterday about Berlin. I'm not sure if that was a cast or not, but it's not a whole lot to reveal. But yeah, with the 5 target approach on the Berlin map, you usually end up doing your kills without any items. So other than the old snail emetic device, you don't have to rely on the dart guns or the silence pistol as much as in different maps. So I'm curious to see what Chris's ban will be, but of course Mehdi first, as Chris probably just rebooting his OBS or just getting through his usual menu crashing, and then he should be ready in time. Probably this, like the seeker snail combination, as Colored Lonely says, in combination with the downstairs disguises, it can make it longer. Obviously not impossible thanks to the soft mission story or just following the dealer. There's always a way for these disguises as long as they are not bugged out, but they are the only parts where you kind of really need an item. So in just a bit we will know, in a very tiny bit, because now we have the text updated. The snail and the tranquilizer guns were banned. So no sedative items, the emetics will be fine. And of course, if dealer, Florida man, or drowning comes up, then still might be a nice, easier way to get those disguises or kills. But the silence pistol also being good to go, we might just see something very mainline suit start, if the spin is, of course, allowing for that or requiring that. And we have 5 minutes to think about this, and 5 minutes for Chris to come back. I think that was probably one of the reasons. Yeah.
It was.
Let's see, quick recap of the tournament. We have had 4 matches so far, and one Berlin on the opener between Joker J and that observer. That went to 2-0 for Joker J. 3 of the 4 previous matches did not go to deciders, so far in the minority.
I'm figuring this. Most of the matches will not go to the decider, especially with like if you get 1.5, you win.
Mm-hmm.
So it's otherwise the score just doesn't work out. Hitman is a really difficult game to balance in terms of making a best of.
Yeah.
So I think I changed this a bunch of times, asked a bunch of times. I got your input, I got Chris's input. I thought about it myself a bunch. So I think it's all right for now what it is.
At the end of the day, you either finish a roulette spin or not, and you only have the timers to help out, and you only have the certain scoring formats to choose from. So I think it's a good balance, and especially so, this is well, technically not the Providence first, but it has been in the minority, and it's very important to note. The matches are shorter, well, up to 3 maps, but this is a double elimination bracket, and I think this works just as well in contrast to the single elimination tournaments we usually have, which are first to 3 map wins. So I think this is it's already a good shake-up in the format.
Yeah, for sure. And if this is looking way into the future on, lots of maybes, but if there were to be a second iteration of this, some of these feedbacks that I'm getting, we'll try to look into it. Maybe we can just have best of 5s for the normal rounds, other than the grand finals, have maybe a best of 7 or something.
Yeah, it's so many things to consider. And
one thing I definitely want to try is a 9-map pool. That's what I wanted, even like right as soon as I wanted a 7-map pool.
Mm-hmm.
So would be nice to see. 9-map would be a little more, half of the trilogy included. Or less than half now because the new map's coming out.
Maybe we just ban some maps at the same time, but this would probably be the shorter maps, which I don't want to see go. But anyway, that's also a nice balance to have. Of course, the spice of it is the real time map picks and bans, as Mehdi's stream gets really off focus.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know. So that's one of the things, right? One of the things that roulette players do is they schedule their matches and they practice those specific picks over and over again until their match time. But with this, you obviously can practice all 7 maps, or you practice and then you try to win the ban phase. That's kind of the idea. I mean, obviously it's not going to go as much as you think. It's like a new item ban isn't really strategic, I don't think.
It's definitely interesting to think about how can you learn for this, because at the end of the day, your opponent will always have at least one wrench to throw into your plans with that one item ban, and it's almost in a way that you have to learn the map multiple ways. You have to learn it with a silence pistol and without it, with the tranquilizers, without it, and you can just try to anticipate your opponent's strengths and weaknesses, what items they might feel they would want to ban, because of course it's then gone for both players, and if someone is better with the silent pistol, then it's very unlikely that they will ban it for themselves as well. So I think it's a very interesting balance, and I'm really curious to see how it goes, especially in the further rounds, deeper in the brackets.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely. That's basically the idea of and the reasoning for this. It's maybe to use some of the strengths of players without some of those items because we know they can when we have done it since 2016. So it's interesting to see because even some of the 2016 players that I'm friends with, they messaged me saying, "Oh, this is great to see some tranks, man." It's not,
Mm-hmm.
some of us that really don't like using the trank guns, so they said they liked watching a match without them. Not all of them have been really consequential, but yeah, like you said, towards the end of the bracket, it might be more spicy.
But the option is always there for that perfect storm of the spin which would almost require an item and then having to do without. Not sure if this will happen in Berlin, but we have a spin here regardless. FireX, Biker, Assault Rifle, Technician, Fall, Rolf Hirschmuller, Concealable Knife, Club Security, now that's a funny one, and Screwdriver Delivery Guy. And I just did a...
Pickpocket Agent Green, take his outfit, and then
It,
stab him with it.
exactly. If only this was no target chaos, then it would be
Oh
definitely
yeah,
even more
sure.
interesting. But I think they don't mind to have a quick first kill. This is not a suit spin, so we can see some other starts as well. Mehdi is considering Biker Hangout, and where the FireX isn't that close to it, he can start the chain going by transporting the Biker to, for example, the staircase, the main staircase, which leads up to the roof and down to Rolf's office. I guess we'll
Yeah,
see.
no falling objects. I mean, you could kind of do the roll floor too. It's just come up for the delivery guy. Yeah, it pains me to say it, but you can do it.
Yeah, yeah, that's unfortunately, as a caster, it is always unfortunate to see. But the things not found in Rolf's room are the assault rifle, which is going to be your agency pickup in these situations, the concealable knife, which is on the rooftop, uh, as well as I guess it could be in your loadout, but we're also kind of restricted by that point, and of course the delivery guy, as you said.
So I don't know if Chris is playing right now because there's not really any response from him. Not live on my end.
Yeah, his previous message in the chat was the LMAO at 4 past the hour, so I'm kind of worried that he got the crash at the
Yeah,
worst
he's
possible
probably
time.
reinstalling all the drivers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, it physically breaks his PC. He's like, oh wait, I'm building a new PC.
Oh God. Oh, poor Chris. And it worked out just fine on the shortest map, where you could do it twice in a good real-time situation, but of course your opponent could also do the same. But playing a full Berlin spin would be devastating. Or twice. Playing a full Berlin spin twice, of course. So for the time being, we have Mehdi, and we have Mehdi killing because he has the concealable knife, and he's not going for Agent Green. So there goes. That's still green guns though. So
That's interesting. I mean, I think he wants to keep that for the fall kill. Not really a bad idea. He's bringing Banner up, so he's just gonna throw that knife at his head and get the technician. Also, I need the Rolf though, so that's gonna be a long disguise transportation.
yeah, I think that's almost the biggest reason for the roll floor, because the disguise and the only downstairs fall opportunity are both in that office, and otherwise you will have to take a lot of stairs to get the fall opportunity. I guess the closest would be
Yeah,
surface
and you
level
get 4
swan.
out of the 5 disguises doing the roll floor too. Again, I think if I were to play this, I would do the roll floor.
It's a very good instinctual moment. Uh, we don't know Mehdi's playing style. I think Chris is known for always doing alternative strats to the roll floor and succeeding, of course, very well with it. So you can see it on the right hand side, but curious to see how the
Yeah,
endgame times would line up in that case.
yeah, definitely.
We had
Trying to
seen
get
some. Yeah, getting Chris.
Oh, it's you. Are you? Still offline for me.
Yeah, I'm not getting as well. Oh, the
Chris.
timing for
We
that.
can say Chris has already killed 4 people.
That's not a unreasonable judgment, yeah.
Definitely not. Yeah. Let me check the admin page. No done button yet, so
Oh, what a flex it would be. Chris finishing 4 spins. But that's perhaps a little unfair towards Mehdi, who 3 minutes into the run, he's in a tough situation, but gets away with it. Still green guns, 1 kill down, and of course the more setups. Thames already isolated, and I think the delivery guy already hidden screwdriver acquired very beginning of the spin, so it's a very good situation for him so far. Of course, you don't know where Chris might be. He's trespassing and looking for the peekaboo. That will be Lowenthal, who just very inconveniently stops and looks away from 47, so the peekaboo is not really viable. I think now he gets some attention, and that might just be... Oh, it's barely not
towards
enough.
the tail end of it, so it's not enough. It just cancels it out.
Yeah, and I have Chris now and in the map, and we don't know how long, like the time has been spent, whether it was a run, whether it was reinstalling drivers, and just shopping for some new parts. But he's now in, and 4 minutes to come back from. Only 1 kill behind, but of course setups on Mehdi's side. Good progress.
I'm starting suit with the assault rifle, so we'd probably be able to get that kill out of the way, along with the green kill. Oh,
that was like, you don't even see that happen. The rooftop guard just turning towards you. That's one of the basics of Berlin.
It's a frustration from the whole situation that's just ongoing. It can happen. I felt that myself. It just every step Chris takes on Berlin is basically perfect, and you don't really expect stuff like that to happen unless you're not feeling it. And obviously, with all this technical problem, that can. Yeah. He should be all right, even with that.
Yeah, the only thing that really matters is that hopefully he doesn't suffer any mental or emotional setbacks. Like, I don't really expect anything major even, but you do play a little differently when you are already anxious into the run after some rips, and it's not even your fault for any of this. So just hope everything is fine on that end. Has the concealable knife kill, as you said, under 1 minute. We'll be luring up the technician who's called Banner, so that's 2 out of 5. Really nice quick progress, but Mehdi of course also closing in on, I think that's kill number 3, because he has the delivery kill already. So
yeah, it's a bit hard to read, but Chris should get his second kill. Well, opts not to kill Banner. Ooh. It's inside the box.
A familiar sight. But this is for sure interesting. I think now he's coming back. Might have been thinking about what we've seen on Mehdi's side of trying to use someone else for 4, but I think Chris is very familiar with Swan, who would probably be the next target for this kind of accident.
Yeah, the only issue with the fall kill is it's Wolf's disguise. It's downstairs, so I can't imagine Chris doing an upstairs kill with the Wolf disguise, which is what Mehdi's getting right now. Yeah, so Chris is gonna go for the screwdriver kill, which is a bit of an annoying item if you're not starting biker or something.
Yeah, usually there are plenty of screwdrivers on most maps. It's only an afterthought to detour for one of them, but it's a bit harder. In this area. getting to Lowenthal now in this room with just one other biker. Going to drag him around the way and looks for that cycle, should be fine, and he will be allowed in this area, and we'll probably get not just screwdriver, but no, actually I think only the screwdriver would be the necessary item from this area. Mehdi approaching Agent Green for fall as Rolf Hirschmüller, and that will put him on a 4 out of 5.
Because Chris just grabbed the screwdriver from the biker workshop.
And that will be 3 out of 5 in a couple of seconds. It's close. Mehdi's obviously closer to the finish. Chris...
Oh, that looked like it's gonna get full there. Suspicion meter. Obviously, there's a bit of light from the glare, whatever. So
yeah,
it almost looked like it was full.
I need to stop there as well. But oh, that's a body found.
That's the fire axe. Is that Rhodes? It was Rhodes or Lowenthal, but either way, that's massive because Chris is going back downstairs.
He had 4 out of 5, and it was the... Oh my apologies. It was the fire axis biker target, and I wasn't exactly sure if Rhodes was killed with the fire axe, but there was the bloody puddle. Oh, well, never mind. So, the biker down can be a different disguise. I just had it confused. But it was one of the bikers, and of course it's always the situation of not getting rid of the bikers who are with Rolf. They will walk towards the biker area eventually, and I think Mehdi had some progress with Lowenthal and the targets around there. But I can't chain the timings together if enough time has passed for those bikers to ride to the area. That would be my best guess though.
Oh yeah, the bikers from Rolf's room. Yeah, so they found him.
I think so as
well,
yeah.
That's exactly what happened. Yeah, no, that's exactly what happened. Yeah, you don't really pay attention to them until they start finding bodies for you, and then you go and follow them up to the rooftop. That's where they end up.
Yeah, it's
I didn't do that.
it's a very tempting to, because the Rolf disguise is very easy to acquire. It just requires one throw, which only Rolf will go for, and other than that, you don't really think about them. Otherwise, it's just a waste of time to lure one away, KO both. What happens if one finds another body? So you tend to want to leave them out, but of course they walk out and cause all sorts of trouble if there are bodies lying around.
Absolutely. So Chris is going to bring a few people down with the roll floor. Thames is coming down because he teleports. Banner's body gets found by Davenport. It's a port twice. If anybody paid attention.
And I think Chris
Davenport now needs to die because he's seen that. So nice toss there.
He will eventually die. Correct kill.
Yes.
And I think these guns were the reason why Chris was so careful with the bullet distraction. He does not want anything to do with Thames, nor his disguise. Do not want him to use as a 6th kill, and just wants to finish the map with 5 down and green guns. That's apparently a lure which won't be reacted on. Now the second one is. So that will be, I think, Chamberlain from downstairs, and then just drag him around the area, and probably a bit of race against the clock, because we can see Montgomery arriving to this room as well, and you probably have to drag him to that room before he arrives. And oh, we have another restart from Mehdi. It just got late for that. He was near the delivery guy area. Could have been another body found, but I honestly missed that, unfortunately.
Chris now has to wait for Montgomery. So he's already here. Bit of a delay. This is why roll through is kind of funky, especially in the middle of the match. But can just drop him off, and that would cause his buddy to go straight for the little dump prompt area. And he'll probably just stare there forever.
Yeah, that's basically everything down. Rolf turns hostile eventually because of the mission story, but not quick enough. Chris is out and takes the second point and the match, and will advance to winners bracket round 2 with this match. Very unfortunate for Mehdi, of course, not knowing where Chris was and where the technical difficulties brought him in the first couple of minutes. Mehdi was on a decent run, 4 out of 5 kills down. Just one unfortunate body found, and another match without a decider, but well played from Mehdi, and we of course won't say goodbye to him either, because we do have a losers bracket where I dare say he has a single chance. We can see it was winners bracket 1.3. I love that I can interact with the tournament this way, can just highlight it. Chris now faces the winner of Fenio versus Chromax. Oh, I think that's on me for not refreshing. Hold on. There we go. Perfect. Of course, Punky on top of things. Now we have Fenio versus ChrisX3 in winners bracket round 2. The two winners of the two previous match. And this also means that the loser bracket match is also settled. Mehdi versus Chromax will play for a spot in round 2. Any thoughts or takeaways, Punky, as you are, of course, winding down from the admin action?
No, seems like a typical Rivals Pro admining experience. Lots of technical difficulties and lots of typing. So yeah, definitely thanks to you guys that handled all this yesterday. I appreciate that.
We are, like, it's getting only smoother and smoother, so I'm not worried. And also thank you for the admin work, which you have done and which you will do. I think 4 matches for adminings, 3 back-to-back, so I can't say thanks enough.
Yeah, no problem. I've been anxious to actually do it because I was like, I didn't feel like working yesterday. On top of other things, and like, can I just go admin a match? But yeah, that's good games. Happy to see Chris play. I know it was a little frustrating, can always be.
Yeah, it was like the tech worked against him like nothing else, but still he managed to get it down with a very nice sweep. And of course we'll go to round 2, which is not scheduled, which is the second match not scheduled according to this page, but we do have another match scheduled, and it will start right now. Yanini versus Mu for, I think, one of the last round 1 matches already. So I will just say thank you once again everyone for watching, and thank you Punky for joining me for the co-cast and for adminning this match.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem, always a pleasure. And we will be back very soon with the next match, Yanini versus Mu. Don't go anywhere, and see you soon.